On Sunday, nearly 13 million people in Ecuador head to the polls for a mandatory vote on a new president. The current president has governed for a decade. CGTN's Dan Collyns is joining me from Quito. Dan?
Well, Susan, the atmosphere here in Quito is quite different from previous elections, the local people tell me, because it's far from certain what the outcome will be. There are 3 candidates in with a chance of winning, and that's largely because the dominant political figure of the last decade, Rafael Correa, is not on the ballot.
Ecuadorians are going to the polls on Sunday to elect a new leader other than Rafael Correa, the country's longest-serving president. His former vice president, wheelchair-bound Lenin Moreno, is the current front-runner. A champion of education opportunities and rights for disabled people, Moreno is popular, but opinion polls say he's unlikely to win in the first round.
Dreams exist and can turn into reality. Here, where there was once rubbish dumps, now there are excellent schools.
His style is less confrontational than his predecessor, and some observers say Moreno may jettison some of Correa's less popular policies.
I support the continuation of this project because I'm a member of Movimiento País. I support this revolution for health, justice, and education.
With a promise of continuity with a twist, Lenin Moreno could be the first paraplegic president of Ecuador, but his lead is being challenged by rising unemployment and a sluggish economy, which is fueling support for the opposition and its pledge to cut taxes and create jobs. Riding on a wave of anti-Correa sentiment is Moreno's nearest rival in the polls, former banker Guillermo Lasso. His campaign has capitalized on corruption allegations leveled against key figures in Correa's administration.
In the Ecuadorian family, the conversations are about the lack of work, fear, and the future of Ecuador. They also talk about the corruption that reigns in Ecuador. That's why we have to vote for change, so we can fight against corruption.
His supporters say Ecuador needs new leadership.
We are tired of the corruption. We are tired of knowing there's no justice, that the citizens don't have guarantees. So we want to vote to change.
Running third in the polls is Cynthia Viteri. She pledges to cut taxes and slash excessive government spending, which has saddled Ecuador in debt. Mired in recession, Ecuador has struggled after oil prices plummeted in 2015. Regardless of who wins, many voters say Correa's legacy of radical social and political reforms will be hard to undo.
Well, that legacy has seen the economy of this small OPEC nation double in size. It's seen poverty and inequality slashed, roads and hospitals have been built, and education has improved, and most Ecuadorians are better off than they were 10 years ago. But some have clearly tired of Correa's autocratic style. Nonetheless, Correa will leave office with, according to different pollsters, anything between 40 to 60% approval rating. But that popularity is not necessarily guaranteed for his successor, Lenin Moreno, who is far from unbeatable. In the likely scenario that this election goes to a second round, it's likely that whichever of the opposition candidates gets through, the rest of the opposition will rally behind that candidate. So it's far from certain who the winner will be in this election. That said, Correa's legacy will likely be a strong one, but the citizens' revolution, as he called it, may come to an end.
Dan Collyns, thank you for the update.